Housing and Urban Development Secretary Ben Carson made light with Congresswoman Kate Porter yesterday after an extremely embarrassing mix-up during a hearing earlier in the day. The California Democrat had asked Secretary Carson about REOs, or real estate-owned properties, a term that is related to foreclosures. However, the secretary thought that the congresswoman was asking him about Oreos, the sandwich cookie.
REO rates, do you know what an REO is?
An Oreo?
No, not an Oreo. An REO. REO.
Real estate?
What's the O stand for?
Organization?
Owned. Real estate owned. That's what happens when a property goes to foreclosure. We call it an REO.
Oh my God.
Following the gaffe, Secretary Carson had a little fun at his own expense. Later in the day, he tweeted out a picture of a package of Oreos with a note to the Congresswoman, as well as a picture of him posing with some Oreos himself. The tweet read, "Oh, REO, thanks at Rep. Katie Porter, enjoying a few post-hearing snacks, sending some your way."
You know what would have been maybe a better response is like answering the question.
I identify very much with Josh Barrow, who's one of my favorite pundits, who said, every once in a while, you have to remind yourself that Ben Carson is one of the most talented neurosurgeons in the world.
It is hard to reconcile that thought with watching that moment. Let's just say that. All the best people. Yeah. That's Trump. Yesterday, though, marked the 100th anniversary of the House of Representatives passing the 19th Amendment, which guarantees a women's right to vote. On Twitter, several lawmakers posted pictures of themselves wearing yellow roses in honor of the anniversary, alongside the hashtag Women's Vote 100. Florida Democrat Congresswoman Donna Shalala tweeted, on this day 100 years ago, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a constitutional amendment granting women the right to vote. May we honor the suffragettes that came before us and continue to fight for the full equality of women and girls everywhere. Washington Republican Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rodgers tweeted out a video of her remarks on the House floor commemorating the anniversary and said, quote, "It's leaders like Susan B. Anthony and others who have inspired generations of women to live their dreams, to be courageous and be risk takers." And I'm going to, Donna Shalala, I mispronounced that. Anyway, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I'm a big supporter of this move. So good job, guys. My daughter, my 11-year-old, she was super mad at her history teacher because they were doing a section on suffragettes. And on the test, they had a picture of an anti-suffrage movement poster. And the question was, where would you find this? And my daughter answered, in the trash can. And then they were like, why? And she's like, because a suffragette would have put it there. And they marked her wrong in that answer, which she was pretty mad about.
All right, everybody needs to write into this.
Write into my daughter's teacher.
This is wrong.
It's a travesty. Anyway, go on.
So President Trump has nominated Barbara Barrett to be the next Secretary of the Air Force. He made the announcement on Twitter, saying in part, "I am pleased to announce my nomination of Barbara Barrett of Arizona, former chairman of the Aerospace Corporation, to be the next Secretary of the Air Force. She will be an outstanding secretary. Hashtag fly fight win." So Barrett is a certified jet pilot, first civilian woman to land an F-18 fighter on an aircraft carrier, and she also trained as an astronaut. So Barrett previously served as a deputy administrator of the FAA and the vice chairman of the U.S. Civil Aeronautics Board. If she's confirmed by the Senate, Barrett, who is a former U.S. ambassador to Finland and candidate for governor of Arizona, would replace Heather Wilson, who is stepping down to become president of the University of Texas, El Paso. And so the thing is about the Space Force, and these are very intimately related. Earlier this week, the House Appropriations Committee rejected funding for the new military branch, saying that they are not convinced that it's necessary.
Fair.
But the House and Senate Armed Services Committees are still considering whether or not to authorize the creation of the Space Force.
Wait, so how do these things relate?
Because she is a former aerospace executive, former astronaut. She has a big space background. She's going to give a lot of legitimacy within the Air Force to the push for the Space Force.
Oh, so she's very pro Space Force.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because in some ways, doesn't the Air Force kind of lose some of their power
US
if
Air
there's
Force
a Space
Command.
Force?
Yeah,
but you think she'll still be in favor?
I don't think she would have been nominated by Trump if she wasn't a supporter of the Space Force. And she gives a lot of legitimacy to those arguments with those lawmakers who are skeptical if the Space Force is even necessary.
Gotcha. I see it. I understand now.
You gotta see it up there.
connecting all the dots here for us.
So, tomorrow on Rising, for decades, it seemed like nothing could remove Zimbabwean dictator Robert Mugabe from power until an unlikely partnership between 4 would-be enemies. Journalist Douglas Rogers will tell us his story.
Interesting. And 60% of all pregnancy-related deaths are preventable. That is according to a startling new CDC report. We're going to dive into those conclusions and what they mean with Dr. Wanda Barfield. All that tomorrow. Have a fabulous day. We'll
See you
then.
tomorrow.